Hi everyone, it's Trina from the Alluring Bead Boutique. Hope you're having a great day. Here today to do a quick tutorial, discuss and show you guys how to make this little component here. But recently I've been trying to come up with some different styles for the ends of my bracelets. And these are just a couple that I've been working on. This one, which I'm not going to show you today, is just a brick stitch, but I've used different kinds of beads here in this end. I've got some 8/0 delicas here. Then I have some 8/0 Toho C beads, some bugles, some more Toho 8/0s. Then I have these little 11/0 triangle beads right here, the little sharp triangles, and then some more 11/0s or 8/0s on the end. And that came out really pretty. I've had this laying around for a while, and I'm planning on getting back to it now to try to come up with something for something for autumn, which is pretty much, I'm about to be done with my autumn jewelry, but I just love that, so I'm going to try to figure out maybe a bracelet or something else to use it for. Okay, the one I'm going to show you guys today is made using, this one is made using super duos and 11/0s, and this is just a right angle weave technique that I saw on a bracelet pattern on a magazine, and I figured out how to do the little right angle weave unit in this manner. And then for the end of a bracelet, I've come down in this little triangular shape like so. The one I'm going to show you today, I'm making, and here's something I'm working on. This will probably be either a video or a pattern, not sure yet. Anyhow, so I've taken this technique, and what I've done on this one is I'm using MiniDuos and 15/0s. And that's what I'm going to show you today, because obviously I need another end. So I thought maybe I would just go ahead and demonstrate how to do this little triangular shape using right angle weave and the little MiniDuos and 15/0s. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and get my materials out. You need 21 of these MiniDuos or super duos, and then you're going to either need some 15/0s or 11/0s to go along with that. A couple of grams should do it. All right, I'll be back just in a minute. All right, to get started, like I said, you'll need 21 of either super duos or MiniDuos. You'll need about a little gram or so of 15/0s or 11/0s. I'm using a size 10 beading needle and some .008 wildfire in the dark. And you'll need a stop bead. So I've went ahead and got all of that taken care of. Now to get started, the first thing you do is pick up one of your MiniDuos, and then you're going to pick up a 15/0. You're going to drop that down. Then pick up one more of your MiniDuos. Let that slide down too. Then I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to come back through this last MiniDuo through the opposite direction in the other hole. And this is, I'm going to give you fair warning, this work is a little bit fidgety at first. Alright, so now I'm coming out of the second hole of the second super duo. So now I'm going to pick up a 15/0 and another MiniDuo or super duo. Let that come down. And once again, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to come through the other hole in the opposite direction of this third one. So building this little weird looking little ladder here. So now I need to pick up one more of my 15/0s here and the fourth MiniDuo. And come through that second hole of the MiniDuo again from the opposite side. And now we're ready to close up our unit. So here is the first MiniDuo that I picked up. I just need to pick up one of my 15/0s, and I need to come through the second hole and put that 15/0 seed bead on the same side of the MiniDuo as my first 15/0 is, right there. So now You're going to say, well, gee, that just looks like a big old jumbled up mess. And it kind of is at first. But you have to reinforce in order to shape this beadwork up. So try to take your fingers and pull this little cluster of unit into the position that you want it in. Now I'm going to coming out. Let me take this stop bead off now. I'm coming out of this hole on my MiniDuo. I'm going to pass back up through the other hole, and at the same time I'm going to go through my 15-0 and the Super Duo, the second Super Duo again. So I'm just reinforcing. And it is very fidgety, but it can be done. You just have to take your time when you reinforce. So now I'm coming out of the second Super Duo. I want to go back through the other hole in the opposite direction, the 15-0, and my third MiniDuo. And then I'm going to start pulling this a little bit tighter. And I can use my tail thread and my working thread to tighten things up. Like that. Now you see how it's taking a nicer shape. Alright, so because I'm using this thicker thread, I'm not going to go all the way back around to the side. We're going to make our next unit. So we want to be coming out of the MiniDuo either on the right or the left, depending on which is your dominant hand. I'm a lefty, so I'll be coming out of this left-handed side. So I'm just going to pick up a 15-0 and a MiniDuo, bring them down. And I'm going to come back through my MiniDuo through the other hole in the opposite direction. So that is what I have. It's like just like right angle weave, we're going to be building the second unit. This will be considered our first bead. This will be considered our second bead. So now we're going to get our third bead. Pick up your 15-0, your MiniDuo, and bring them down. Come through the other hole of your third bead in the opposite direction. Pick up your 15-0 and your MiniDuo. Come back through that bead, second hole, opposite direction. Now pick up one more of your 15-0s and come back through your very first bead. But just go through the MiniDuo. Don't pass through the 15-0. So I'm going to go through that MiniDuo into this other hole, which is the upper hole from the way it looks on the screen. Pull everything through. And now I'm going to have to shape my beadwork up. And this is where I use my fingers to pinch my work, because that helps hold these little units into their shape like so. So now I'm coming out of this hole here to the right on this Super Duo. I'm going to go up through, well, MiniDuo, whatever. I'm going to go up through the other hole of that bead, the 15-0, and then out through the lower hole of that MiniDuo. Not catch my tail thread here. So now it's getting nice and tight, so that I can really start shaping this up a little bit more. To finish up, I'm going to come up through this opposite hole towards the center of my beadwork, and I'm going to go through the 15-0 and the next hole of this next MiniDuo, like that. And so now I have 2 units. I'll just be honest with you guys, it takes some practice to get used to shaping these up. So just take your time and you can do it. It's not that hard. And I already made a bracelet like the one that I got this idea from, or this stitch from. And I made a really long, beautiful bracelet out of it, and it's on sale up in the art gallery. Hopefully it'll sell because it came out really gorgeous. Anyhow, so I'm going to go ahead and add one more so that I have 3 units here to be the base of this particular end. And then I'm going to come back and show you guys how to step up and do the next row. Alright, so I've added my 3rd little unit here, and I went ahead and started moving back around this unit just like we did before to shape everything up nicely. So I'm coming out of this MiniDuo here farthest to the left, and what I want to do now is I'm going to come up through the next 3 beads, or well, the other hole of this MiniDuo, then I'm going to go through the 15-0, and I'm also going to pass through that MiniDuo on the top of my unit like that. I mean, actually, I didn't really want to do that. I wanted to just go through the 15-0. So I'm going to back out. Sorry. Alright, so I went through this other hole here in the 15-0. Now I'm just going to take this needle and I'm going to come up through the second hole, the one towards the middle of that top MiniDuo. And you're saying, well, gee, you skipped something there, but it's really cool because with these little MiniDuos, you can do that and you don't have any exposed thread. There's a tiny little pinch there, but you're not going to see it on the finished project. All right, so now I want to step up, and because I want to only use make 2 units on this next row, there's no way for me to use either of these 3 beads. So what I'm going to do is I'm coming out of this hole, I'm going to pick up a MiniDuo and slide it all the way down. So I'm going to position the other hole of that MiniDuo to the right. I'm going to take my needle and come down through that second hole, and I'm going to come down through the hole on the left of my middle MiniDuo on the base, like that. And pull. So that now I have this little bead sitting here. And that's going to be the bottom bead of my next right angle weave unit. So now I need to step up through the other hole of this center bead where I'm exiting. And pull my thread. And now I'm going to repeat that. I'm just going to go ahead and pick up a MiniDuo. Let it come down. I'm going to come through the second hole of that MiniDuo, and I'm going to come through the left-hand hole of the 3rd MiniDuo on my base. Just like that. Now, I'm going to work my way back around to this bead, this top bead that I just added. So I'm coming out of this MiniDuo here on the left-hand hole. Let me roll my work around. I'm going to come through the 15-0 and this MiniDuo right here. That's the inner wall of that outer side unit. Pull my thread. Now I'm going to come up through the 15-0 and this MiniDuo in the center right here. And then I'm going to come out the MiniDuo I just added, and I'm coming out to the left. All right, so now I can work on adding my unit here on this MiniDuo. So this will count as my first bead of 4, so I'll pick up my 15-0 and the second MiniDuo. Let them drop down. Twist my little bead around here. So I'm going to come back through the other hole in the opposite direction, just like that. Pick up a 15-0 in a MiniDuo. come back through the second hole of that MiniDuo in the opposite direction. So now that's a total of 3 beads, and I need to put my 4th bead. So one more 15-0, one more MiniDuo. Come back through the other hole in the opposite direction. One more time. Now I'm going to pick up my 15-0 and join my unit. So I'm coming at all of my beadwork is coming out of this hole of that, excuse me guys, sorry, this hole of this MiniDuo. So once I pick my 15-0 up, I need to go through the other hole of that same MiniDuo back towards the base row. And then I need to shape up my beads just a little bit and pull that stuff nice and snug. So now I want to come back up through this same bead I'm exiting, just the MiniDuo, and I'm also passing through the 15-0 above it. And now I want to pass through this MiniDuo in the bottom hole closest to the base row. Now I'm in position to add my second unit on this row. So now for this unit, we already have this right side wall and the lower wall. So we'll just need to add 2 MiniDuos this time. But first we want to pick up a 15-0 and we want to come down through the MiniDuo here at the bottom of the unit. Like that. Now we're going to come up through the other hole of the MiniDuo right there. So now we'll need to pick up a 15-0 and the outside wall of this unit, MiniDuo, bring it down, come through the MiniDuo in the opposite direction through the other hole, and if you have to slide it down into place, just bring it on down, just like that. Pick up your 15-0 and the top wall of this unit, come through the MiniDuo, the other hole, one more time. And now we'll need just to pick up a 15-0 and we're going to come through this side wall over here that's part of both units through the top hole like that. And pull. And so now we have this unit created. And we're done with that row. Now, if I was using a thinner thread, I would go ahead and sew back down through this one again, just because I would want it to be a little bit firmer. But problem is with this 0.008 wildfire, I don't want to do that, because when I want to come through and add this decorative edging, like that's on this one, sorry, I don't want to risk breaking a bead or anything. So I'm not going to do it right now, but you should do it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come up through this 15-0 and this center hole of this MiniDuo here to the right, because that's the way my thread path was headed. And now I can add my last unit, but first I have to once again create the bottom wall. So I'll pick up a MiniDuo and let it come down. Then I'm going to come through the other hull of the MiniDuo back down towards my beadwork. And I'm going to come down through the inside hull of this MiniDuo sitting right next to on the base. And now I'm going to come back through these beads, which is the 15-0 in this center wall MiniDuo of the lower 2 units. Then I'm going to come up through the 15-0 in the MiniDuo here on the right. And then I'm just going to come up through this MiniDuo I just added to the right. And now everything is nice and secure and it feels a lot firmer. So now I can add my last 3 MiniDuos just like we've been doing. So go ahead and create your next unit. This time I'm going to be working around to the right, but I'll still always pick up my 15-0 first. Then I'll pick up the MiniDuo. And I could just flip my work over since I'm left-handed and be working in the other direction. So I'll just go back through that MiniDuo, the other hull, into the opposite direction. 15-0 MiniDuo. These little MiniDuos are pretty small, but I like them. They're really unique. And my last 15-0 and MiniDuo combo. Come through my MiniDuo, the second hull in the opposite direction again. And now I need to pick up just a 15-0. And I need to come back down through this MiniDuo I started from right here on the base, through the other hull, back down towards all my base rows. And now on this one, I'm really going to go ahead and go through this whole unit, or at least pretty much of it, because I want to shape this unit up. It's sitting up here by itself, and it's going to need some reinforcing to help it keep its shape. So I'll come back up the MiniDuo I'm exiting through the other hull towards this new unit, and I'm going to try to get in that 15-0 in this the next MiniDuo right there, like that. So I'm coming through this one, the 15-0, and the outer one to the left, towards the outside, like that. Now I'm going to come back through the other hull, the 15-0, and the MiniDuo at the top, just like that. And there's how you can make a unique looking bracelet end. Now, because I used the dark thread on these dark green beads, you really can't see that thread. It's like hidden. So you have the option of whether or not you want to add the 15-0s to the outer edge of the bracelet end like I did on this one, or whether or not you don't want to do that. But since I did it on one end, I'll quickly show you guys how I did it. Alright, so I'm exiting this hull at the very top of my beadwork. All I did was pick up 2 of my 15-0s and then come down through that next hull, the 15-0, and the next MiniDuo like that. And I picked up 2 more 15-0s, and I come down through the next MiniDuo, 15-0. I mean, the other hull of my MiniDuo, the 15-0, and the next MiniDuo. And just pull. Like so. So now I'm coming out there what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down through that MiniDuo to the right, on the left-hand hole, like that. And pull. Now I'm going to come up through the second hole of that same bead, like that. And what I did here was I just picked up one 15-0 and went right back down through the other hole of that same MiniDuo, like that. Oops, sorry. All right, Katrina, get it in there, okay? So when I pull this one bead, it's going to sit here on this little shoulder right there. And I kind of like the way that covered up that one little spot. So now I'm coming out of that hole. I'm going to come through the 15-0 in the MiniDuo and work my way around back to the outside edge of my beadwork, following my thread path. So now I'm going to come up through the 15-0 in the inner hole of this bead here on the opposite side. Now I'll just pick up my one 15-0 here, and when I come down this through the other hole of that super duo, I'm going to go ahead and pass through the 15-0 and the next MiniDuo, like that. I'm sorry, guys, if I've said super duo for MiniDuo and everything like that, but it's, you know what I'm talking about. Now, when you're working this, make sure that you keep your little units nice and shapely, like that. So now I'm coming out here. Actually, I went the wrong way. I should have came up here. So I'm going to have to backtrack. Forgive me for that, guys, because I got a little carried away. As I am wont to do sometimes. So, let's see where I am. Alright, so I am coming back out of that hole. I can go up through my little 15-0 right here. I'm sorry if I confused you guys, but I didn't mean to. Then I'm just going to go up through this MiniDuo on this side. You can see how it gets tight. That's why I really didn't want to do a whole lot of reinforcing in there with this particular thread. Had I been using 0.006, it would have been a different story. Alright, so I've got to go up here and come out to add my two little 15-0s on this side. You can see how I'm stitching through this. You just have to follow the thread path just like you would in right angle weave. And just remember to hit your little 15-0s in between, and that you're working with 2-hole beads on your the walls of your units. So now I got to pick up 2 more 15-0s, come down through this other side of my MiniDuo here. And sorry, I just had a little earthquake. So there, I now have my little 15-0s there, like so. Alright, so I'm going to stitch my way back down and around and add my two 15-0s to this MiniDuo, this MiniDuo, this MiniDuo, and this MiniDuo. And then I'll also be adding a 15-0 here and here. Right there and right there. Like we did up here between rows 3 and 2. We'll put 1 there between rows 2 and 1.